Hello and welcome to the first of a series of instructional videos we'll be releasing over the next few weeks. We're going to start with the definitely it's the question we get asked most frequently, which is around data deletion. The question that we find we get asked most is, how do I delete WordPress data safely and securely? And I think for most users, it's not really how they go about it, because there are methods there for doing that, but it's it's really the fear and the threat of doing damage to your system, which is understandable. Clicking that red button and having no recourse is obviously a major concern. So in this video, I'm going to simply outline the steps involved and demonstrate how the process works using the GDPR Data Manager plugin. The reason I'm using this plugin is because I outline in the accompanying blog, it's just much more extensive than other options. It's all in the same place, so it's integrated. I'll demonstrate that in a little more detail in a few moments. But mainly it's got recourse. There is, if you roll back your system, you have a method of syncing up actions. So that, coupled with the audit trail process, that audit trail log that it includes, means it's a much, it certainly takes the pressure off carrying out this action. So to run through it very quickly, I've installed the plugin here already as the GDPR Data Manager. When you install the plugin, this is what you'll receive what you'll see initially. If you're using WooCommerce or Easy Digital Downloads, you need to just select those or one or the other. It's unlikely that you'd be running both WooCommerce and Easy Digital Downloads on the same WordPress instance, but again, for demo purposes, I'm going to include both. So just before you search for the user email that you received the request for, it's worth just taking a look at this section here on the right hand side. You'll see this is the user view. This is what they will see after they click on their verify delete link within their email. This is in the privacy policy tab, because there's 5 sections in the privacy policy section, but one section is replicated on the privacy policy and also on the user email. So if there's anything you need to change in that boilerplate text, you can do that now before you carry out the action. But for the purposes of the demo, it's fine. Actually, for most people, it seems to be fine. They don't change it. So I'm just going to enter the demo user here. So this user that put in the request, they have one WooCommerce order, as you can see. They have a comment, and the rest is WordPress related data. In this case, posts. The WooCommerce order is recorded in the post table. So that's the one post there, and obviously one user. And then there's some more WooCommerce related table data. So we need to verify the delete. That brings you to the pending tab. It's worth adding that at this point, you as the data controller are actually finished. Your work is done, because the rest of the action is carried out by the user themselves. It'll just simply go into this pending tab, and it's available to the user for 24 hours, but they must carry out the action. For the demonstration, though, I'm going to just show the process. I've installed a plugin here, email log, where I can view the email that the requester would have received. So here's the detail, verify request. So this is what the link that will in the email that they will be, is the URL they'll be brought to. That's the content there for the privacy policy we mentioned, and an overview on privacy policy. So to complete the process, they need to download first. so they can download CSV, XML, and JSON. That gives them the backup before they hit their delete. This is all on the user side, but it gives that little bit of security that they have a copy of their data before they carry out the delete action. So at this point, they can click delete all data, and say your request for account Seahorse WP plugins to be deleted has been processed. So just take you back to the GDPR Data Manager plugin, and see that there should be no longer anything pending, but there is a record here just now for user data deleted by user. So all these records are stored remotely. I skimmed over this section very quickly because it's not likely to be relevant initially, but it's worth just mentioning very quickly. So if in the case you have to roll back your database, for example, which is something we have to do pretty frequently, and if you carried out a delete data request the day before, for example, well then obviously that data is going to be replaced after you restore to an early version of your database. But with GDPR Data Manager, you can synchronize the actions because they're all stored remotely. So in the case of a data being restored, it'll give you a sync error, and the action can be carried out by yourself on the admin side. So the user doesn't have to carry out that action again. I'm just going to put in here quickly that's the email that we search for. You can see email address provided is not valid or is unknown, and the order. So this is the content for the WooCommerce order that's been deleted. We deliberately leave in the high-level address data so that users or the data controller, as in yourself, can still report and everything as normal from WooCommerce. Same for Easy Digital Downloads. Within the user information, you'll see that there's a deleted.deleted.com. That becomes the single user for all deleted data. So there's no stray data left on the database by the plugin. So that's pretty much it. I would say that if you keep an eye out for the next release, we'll be covering the export process, which is a similar process, but doesn't take, obviously doesn't have the same level of threat. But feel free to follow up with any comments or any questions you may have in the blog, which we'll be releasing in the next few hours. Thank you.